So we have also these thick clouds racing down the street at 35 miles away, 35 miles an hour away from World Trade Center 7 in every direction, expanding in this cauliflower-like manner from the incredible heat from the gases. This is much, much more heat than available in those small fires that you saw. And those photos are the largest fires that anybody has photographs of or videos of. All this is direct evidence of explosive destruction. In a moment, we'll also look at the evidence of explosives found, which you'd also expect to find in a controlled demolition, right? But the fire can't create any one of these, let alone all of them. So we're pretty sure that we have proof beyond reasonable doubt here. If any fire was going to bring down one of the World Trade Center towers, it would be this one in World Trade Center 5, fully engulfed. Now that fire, that building is fully engulfed. Surely it came down also. No. Mid-rise, high-rise office buildings don't come down to fire. We have the complete destruction of this evidence before the FEMA report came out. And by the way, the FEMA report came out in 2002, and it said, we have no idea how this building came down. Maybe we should do some further investigation. I kid you not. Unfortunately, though, for those hoping to resolve that issue, it had been shipped to China, 400 truckloads a day, out of here at Ground Zero, shipped to China for recycling. Complete illegal destruction of evidence. Did we have foreknowledge? Well, apparently, here's one example. Mysterious construction worker walking away from Building 7, hearing an explosion behind him, looking into the eye of CNN, caught on CNN camera, and talking about what he knows.
Keep your eye on that building, and then coming down. All right, guys. Sorry.
We are looking back. It's a building about to blow up. Hopefully, debris coming down.
Wow. How do they know when the building's about to blow up? Do fires blow up buildings? Here's Kevin McPatton. He was held back with everybody else and Amy Goodman at the point where, because they were worried about Building 7 coming down because theoretically it had structural damages, which is what they told the firefighters not to go into the building because it's dangerous, right? But he's listening to this radio held in the hand of a Red Cross worker.
At the last few seconds, he took his hand off, and you heard 3, 2, 1.
Do fires bring buildings down to countdowns? Some real problems here. The BBC announces the collapse of this building 20 minutes before it happened. Better than that, though, they apologize for this confusing announcement, by the way, citing the confusing events of the day. Does that make them psychic? CNN announced it at 11:07. A 50-story building that went down. Of course it didn't. Many think it was supposed to have gone down at that time. Had it gone down at the time, 10 minutes after the collapse, or 15 of the collapse of the destruction of the Twin Towers, it would have been completely obscured by the massive dust clouds there. So many think it was supposed to be a dud. And those of us who are looking at this evidence in some detail have come to the conclusion that this is proof of controlled demolition beyond a reasonable doubt. And so at this point, I'll ask everybody, usually when I have more time, what do you think? And 95% of those usually who were skeptical of our position end up agreeing with us. And that's why we last year erected a third beam into the New York City skyline. Because of the smoking gun of 9/11 Building 7, which we believe is the key to justice for the victims lost in the Twin Towers. So we hope you'll join us in the new investigation based on this evidence, which almost everybody, from the third grade up, can get if they don't have some sort of extremely closed mind or another agenda. The evidence we have a newsletter. You can sign up for it. at the table in the back. We'll let you know what the latest evidence is, what the success or lack of success in getting an investigation is, what we're doing, what you guys are doing around the world too, in concert with us at AE 9/11 Truth. So be sure to sign up for our free email newsletter. You can do that online too. The Twin Towers has a set of evidence that's even more compelling than Building 7. Once you look at the evidence, you know, it's a very different kind of event. A massive structure, solid steel at the base of these 47-story 47 core columns, extremely heavy steel, almost all at the base, thinning to 2 inches thick at mid-height, and then going to lightweight I-beams, 3/8 inch thick I-beam, wide flange columns at the top. So the evidence begins here in its comparison with explosive destruction. Do we have witnesses that hear sounds of explosions, see flashes of light? Let's see.
As we were getting our gear on and making our way to the stairway, there was a heavy-duty explosion.
The whole building just collapsed on us inside the lobby.
Is that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was.
That was the...
Yeah, definitely secondary explosion.